How do you track your agents in the payment processing business after you bring on a couple agents and you're like, well, now how do I track their progress? What exactly do I do? I'm just going to give you guys some of the top agent tracking methods, and I'm not going to go too deep into this one because they're basic mathematical formulas, and you guys can kind of figure it out for yourselves what each one of them means because they're that obvious. So the first one is merchant acquisition rate. This is how many merchants your new agent gets per month. And you're going to do this for your entire company, and you're going to do this per agent. And this is how you're generally going to see agent productivity. And then within that merchant acquisition rate, you're also going to see how much money each one of those merchants is bringing in on average per agent. So you're essentially calculating their deal size, which is something you should always be doing as well. And then we're going to do average revenue per agent. That's the second metric. This is, how much money is generated by each agent in your portfolio per month. This is all on a per month basis. We want to make sure that we're tracking things on a monthly basis here. And that's the total revenue generated, by all the agents divided by your number of agents, and you'll get your average revenue per agent. Then we have appointment to close ratio. So how many appointments is that agent setting per close? So that's really important to know close ratio, to know which one of your agents is the most efficient. And if you have internal leads coming in, don't waste them with your least efficient agent. Give them to one of your top closers. Like, you don't want to waste, good leads on bad closers. And this also helps, because you're able to find out who your best closers are and who needs improvement, who needs more training, who maybe should be helping create some of these trainings with you. What are the little things that they're doing? Go right along with them. Don't say anything. Don't try to interject. Don't try to help them. Just go right along with these people and find out exactly what they're doing. Next up is residual growth rate. And this tracks the growth and recurring income generated by each agent. Now, this is a focus on agents where the residual growth is below expectations. If they're churning a lot of people, that's really what this accounts for. We want to make sure that they're not signing people on and then they're churning 3 months later. A lot of times that's indicative of bad sales tactics and things like that. So those things come down to reputational management. So make sure that you have a good residual growth rate per agent. So lead to appointment conversion rate. So how well is this agent turning a lead into a scheduled appointment? If you're giving out leads in your ISO, how many leads do you have to give to get that appointment? That comes down to efficiency of that agent and how good their appointment setting script is, not necessarily their closing script. Number 6 here is merchant retention. So this is how, fast people are churning out of that merchant portfolio, and you want to make sure that you're rewarding people with high retention rates. Average ticket size per agent. So the average transaction size, it's not really about the transaction size per se. It's about how large the average merchant they bring on is. Are they out there whale hunting, or are they shooting minnows? If they're shooting 1,000 minnows, great. If they're shooting a couple minnows here and there, well, have that conversation that, hey, you're not that productive. Don't say it like that, but hey, you're not that productive. Why don't we look for some bigger deals here? And you're already having a very long sales cycle. We might as well up that deal size. So customer satisfaction, how satisfied are the customers per agent? And you do this through a survey that should be set up in your CRM with every single business that you have signed on. You should put them in a CRM and have them on an email nurture. Make sure that you're sending out newsletters and different things like that to all your clientele to make sure that you're giving that value add to those clients. Upsell, cross-sale metrics, churn rate, and time to close and sales velocity. Super, super important. So after a first contact, how long is it going to take that merchant to close? And then, the sales velocity is similar, but it measures the speed in which the agent puts the person through the entire funnel. So if they're able to go from 0 to close in 1 day versus 6 days, very similar to time to close, but we measure them both because we want to see how long on sales velocity they're at each phase of the funnel so we can increase throughput throughout the entire business. And then first year attrition rate. That's just how many people are canceling within 1 year. Like I said before, we always want to measure attrition rate. We also measure it in a couple different ways. So what is the first year attrition rate by agent? And make sure that you have all these dialed in.